Alright folks, welcome back. Before we dive into one of the most mind-blowing feats of animal intelligence happening right in our own backyards and cities, let me just take a quick moment to send some good vibes your way. To everyone tuning in right now, wherever you are in the world, I genuinely hope you're feeling fantastic, full of energy, and taking excellent care of yourselves. Wishing you strong health, clear minds, and happiness today and always. Your well-being is truly the most important thing. Okay, get ready to look at those blackbirds hopping around the park or perched on a wire in a whole new light, because today we're talking about crows. And not just any crow fact, we're diving deep into their astonishing memory, specifically this incredible truth: crows can remember human faces for years. Yes, you heard that right. That crow you see outside might not just be looking at you, it might recognize you, and it could remember your face for a very, very long time. Let's unravel the science and the stories behind this amazing ability. Imagine walking down the street a few years ago. Maybe you did something completely ordinary, like shooing away a crow that was getting too close to your picnic, or perhaps you were kind and tossed it some scraps of food. Fast forward 2, 3, even 5 years later. You walk down that same street, or maybe even a different one a few kilometers away. A crow sees you. It starts cawing loudly, maybe even swooping down near you, acting agitated or excited. It seems to recognize you. You might brush it off as coincidence, but science tells us it probably isn't. That crow very likely does remember you, and it remembers exactly what you did, whether you were a friend or a foe. This isn't folklore. It's a well-documented phenomenon backed by rigorous scientific experiments that reveal just how sophisticated the crow brain really is. Their ability to recognize and remember individual human faces over exceptionally long periods is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for their advanced cognitive abilities. So, how do we know this? The most famous proof comes from some truly clever experiments conducted by scientists, particularly a team led by Professor John Marsluff at the University of Washington. They wanted to test if crows could not only recognize faces, but also remember them and associate them with specific experiences, good or bad. Here's how they did it. The researchers used realistic latex masks to create distinct human identities. One mask, let's call it the dangerous mask, was worn by people who would do something unpleasant to the crows, specifically trapping them, briefly handling them, and then releasing them. It was stressful for the birds, simulating a negative encounter with a particular human face. Another mask, the neutral mask, or sometimes a different one entirely, was worn by people who simply ignored the crows or passed by without interaction. The key was consistency. The dangerous action was always linked to one specific mask face. What happened next was astonishing. Crows who had been captured by someone wearing the dangerous mask didn't just flee from that person the next time they saw them wearing that same mask. They actively scolded them. They would mob the person, flying close, cawing loudly in a very distinct, harsh, scolding call. They would alert other crows, who would also join in the harassment, even if those other crows hadn't been directly captured themselves. This mobbing behavior is a natural crow defense mechanism against predators like owls or hawks. They were treating the person wearing the dangerous mask like a serious threat. Crucially, this hostile reaction wasn't limited to the exact location of the capture. The crows recognized the dangerous mask face even when worn by different people, in different clothes, in different parts of the city, weeks, months, and critically, years later. In fact, the experiment showed that this memory and the associated negative reaction could persist for well over 5 years, and likely even longer. Even young crows born after the initial trapping event learned to scold the dangerous mask face, meaning the adult crows weren't just remembering, they were actively teaching their offspring which specific human faces to be wary of. This transmission of information across generations is mind-boggling. Think about that for a second. These birds, with brains significantly smaller than ours, are capable of recognizing a single human face among millions, associating it with a specific event that happened years ago, holding a grudge, or at least a very strong defensive association, and then passing that specific knowledge onto their children. It shows a level of individual recognition, long-term memory, social learning, and communication that rivals or even surpasses that of many primates. It completely shatters the old-fashioned idea that birds are simple creatures operating only on instinct. This ability isn't just a neat trick, it's a powerful survival strategy honed by evolution. For a crow, knowing who is a friend, who is a foe, and who is indifferent can literally mean the difference between life and death in a world where humans can be both a source of abundant food and a source of lethal danger. Why is remembering faces so crucial for crows? Their lives are deeply intertwined with ours, especially in urban and suburban environments. They are incredibly adaptable and opportunistic. They scavenge our trash, eat discarded food, nest in our trees, and navigate our streets. Interacting with humans is a daily reality. A human who throws them bread crusts is a valuable resource. A human who chases them away from a garden or, worse, tries to harm them is a direct threat. Being able to distinguish between individual humans allows them to optimize their behavior. They can learn to approach the friendly person who feeds them, perhaps even coming closer over time, while giving a wide berth to the person who throws stones or sets up scarecrows. This individual recognition saves them energy and reduces risk. They don't have to treat every single human as a potential threat or waste time cautiously observing everyone. They can focus their caution on the specific individuals who have proven dangerous. This cognitive efficiency is a huge advantage. How do their brains pull this off? While a crow's brain is physically small, it's densely packed with neurons. In fact, when you look at the number of neurons packed into their forebrain, the area associated with higher cognitive functions like thinking, planning, and memory in mammals, it's comparable to some primates with much larger overall brains. Think of it like a powerful computer chip miniaturized. A key region involved in this facial recognition is likely analogous to our own temporal lobe structures, specifically areas dedicated to processing complex visual information like faces. Crows seem to have specialized neural pathways for recognizing individual features and configurations that make up a unique human face. They aren't just recognizing a generic human shape, they are recognizing the specific arrangement of your eyes, nose, mouth, and overall facial structure. This information gets stored in their long-term memory, powerfully linked to the emotional experience they had with you, fear, aggression, or perhaps anticipation of food. The strength and longevity of this memory suggest incredibly robust neural connections dedicated to this vital social information. The implications of this ability extend far beyond just recognizing the guy who trapped them or the lady who feeds them peanuts. It fundamentally shapes crow society. Crows are highly social birds. They live in complex family groups, often spanning multiple generations. They form loose flocks, especially outside the breeding season. Information sharing within these groups is crucial. The mobbing behavior triggered by recognizing a dangerous face is a prime example. When one crow identifies a threat and starts scolding, others quickly join in, even if they haven't personally encountered that threat before. This isn't just blind following. Research suggests the scolding calls convey specific information. Crows can learn to recognize a dangerous face just by hearing other crows scold at it. This means knowledge about dangerous individuals spreads rapidly through the crow community. A negative encounter experienced by one crow can quickly become common knowledge among dozens or even hundreds in the area. This collective defense system, powered by individual recognition and communication, makes the entire group safer. Furthermore, this long-term memory influences how crows interact with us over time. If you consistently behave in a predictable way towards them, say, putting out food at the same time each day, they learn your routine and your face. They might start to anticipate your arrival. Some people report crows appearing near their home or workplace around the time they usually offer food. Conversely, if you have a negative encounter, that memory persists. People who have accidentally disturbed a crow's nest or shooed them away aggressively often report being mobbed or scolded by crows in that area for seasons afterward. The birds don't forget easily. This persistence is key. A threat that appears only occasionally, like a farmer protecting crops during harvest season, needs to be remembered from one year to the next. The crow's multi-year memory provides that essential long-term vigilance. What does this mean for us? It should fundamentally change how we view these common birds. Seeing a crow isn't just seeing a black bird, it's potentially encountering an intelligent individual who might recognize you, remember past interactions, and form opinions about you based on your actions. It encourages respect. Being mindful of how we behave towards them matters. Unnecessary hostility isn't just mean. It might earn you a long-term avian adversary whose family and friends will also learn to distrust you. On the flip side, respectful coexistence, or even offering the occasional unsalted peanut in moderation as part of a balanced diet for them, of course, can foster a fascinating, albeit cautious, relationship with a wild, intelligent creature. They might not become pets, but they can become aware of you as a non-threatening or even beneficial presence in their environment. Scientifically, the crow's facial recognition ability is a goldmine. It provides a powerful model for studying the neural basis of complex memory and social cognition outside of mammals. Understanding how their smaller brains achieve such sophisticated feats can teach us about the essential neural circuitry for memory and recognition, potentially offering insights into human memory processes and disorders. It also forces us to expand our understanding of intelligence. Intelligence isn't one thing. It comes in many forms, shaped by the specific ecological and social challenges an animal faces. For crows navigating a world dominated by unpredictable humans, the ability to remember individual faces for years is a brilliant adaptation, a testament to their evolutionary success. It shows that high-level cognitive abilities can evolve along very different paths than our own primate lineage. So, the next time you see a crow perched on a lamppost, looking down at you with that intelligent, dark eye, pause for a moment. That bird might be looking at more than just a passing human. It might be looking at you specifically. It might be recalling an encounter from weeks, months, or even years ago. It might be assessing whether you are a friend, a foe, or simply part of the scenery. Their world is rich with social connections and long memories, far more complex than we often give them credit for. The fact that crows can remember human faces for years isn't just a quirky animal fact. It's a profound reminder of the hidden depths of intelligence in the creatures we share our planet with. A glimpse into a sophisticated avian mind capable of individual recognition, long-term grudges, social learning, and a memory that puts many humans to shame. It challenges our assumptions and inspires awe for the cognitive wonders of the natural world, happening right outside our windows. Thanks for joining me to explore the remarkable memory of the crow. Stay observant, stay kind, and maybe give a respectful nod to the clever crows in your neighborhood. Take care.